Moxie, Squaky, and Cookie. In 2014, gonna do a little time travel back. We've kind of gotten into this crazy thing with the attorney. I don't know, I've always had regrets about this attorney, and with COVID, it's just, it's beyond delayed due process at this point. It's just due process denied, or at this point, and, kind of wait and see and give the condo board enough time to position enough neighbors and enough harassment so that I never see my property, my friends, my family again. Basically, all of a sudden the 2-year wait on my case, they seem to expedite the next one, rather than get to the last one. So I've just been, been dealing with all that. And I haven't really gotten to the other animals involved in this. So, Squaky, Moxie, and Cookie are the 3 rabbits that in 2014, there was an ad. Again, we're going back to when, I had just found Madeline, lost Tyler at the beginning before Zippy and Zinger. And in 2014, I had seen an ad in the paper regarding 3 rabbits. I was involved with the 4-H group. Well, actually not 4-H. It was the ECR CBA, Essex County Rabbit and Cavy Association. Cavy is a guinea pig. No one knows what Cavy is unless you're in the group. So, I knew some people in the rabbit group, and there was someone up in Tilton, New Hampshire, that had an ad out of the, I think it's called the Concord Monitor. I'm not sure. I'm on the paper. I don't get it regularly. But it was out of the Concord, New Hampshire newspaper. And they had an ad for free rabbits plus cage. I said, oh, I know a few people at the fairgrounds. And it was fall. It was very close to the Topsfield Fair that year. So I decided I was going to, adopt them for the meantime. But really, my original intention was to find a placement with someone in the rabbit group that knew the rabbits better than I did, because I hadn't had rabbits. I had guinea pigs, and I thought, oh, well, I'm sure there's someone there that could find, even the ones that use the rabbits to make yarn and other things. Maybe they can, find a use for them. So I went, I think it was 2014? I think it was either 2014, 2000. I'm almost positive it was 2014. So, for some reason, though, I'm like kind of torn on that. Like, I'm thinking Sky's already home. It could be 2015. Either way, when I get them home, Cookie was indoors with Squaky in a kind of sunroom area of the house. Wasn't that far off the highway once you get up there, but it was kind of far up on the highway. It was quite a hike driving. I took Madeline with me. Madeline was just with me all the time. She was very young. It was one of her first big trips, like outside the house with me by herself. It was one of those testing, test in the car. See how we do, see how anxious she gets in the car and for how long, and on a longer trip, a longer, more scenic trip. And we had fun in the car going to Tilton together. I don't really make it to Tilton that often. There's not much to do there. I stopped, I played a little, I think, Keno or something, put in a couple of scratch tickets at the lottery at the gas station. There's really not much else besides the gas station, a hardware store. So once you get in those towns up there. So Squaky and Cookie were indoors, and they were in kind of like this sunroom area with a very large dog crate with a Great Dane in it, and the Great Dane, the rabbit seemed kind of like nervous around the Great Dane. Obviously, I mean, I'm not sure if it was a Great Dane or I want to say like Greyhound, but it was big. It was very, very big, like huge dog. And the rabbit seemed kind of nervous around the dog. Dogs chase rabbits anyway, especially if it's a Greyhound mix or something. So, and Moxie was outside in like an outdoor crate, a rabbit hunt, and they were telling me, in summer they get a lot of coyotes up there. So, Moxie was very, very skittish when I first met her. Would bite or lunge and just about everything, And Cookie was very thin. Squaky was thin for her breed, I would say, because the ones I had seen that were her breed, and I used to know the rabbit breeds a lot better when I went to the group than I do now. I don't remember it. But she was always, from the moment I got her in the newspaper, she was always thin for her breed. I never purchased them from Topsfield. I think I remember the last owner. Oh, and I don't remember her name. I want to say Christine, but I might be wrong. Or Chrissy, or maybe Chrissy. I'm not sure. It's been so long. But I do know Telton. I remember that drive very well. And, so Cookie was very ill, very thin, calico bunny. And Squaky, I don't remember the name of the breed, but it's the one with the big puff. Like, it's got like this puff here. Usually they're fat and they get this big fat round thing. I used to know the name. And Squaky was very thin. Cookie was very thin. Moxie was a very, very big rabbit. I don't know if she was thin too, because I don't know enough about the breeds. I was going to try to get in touch with someone at the group. However, there was a lot of infighting at the group that year, and the group can kind of be awkward when you're first joining, and there's infighting. And you're at a meeting, and, you're about halfway through and you say, okay, we'll get through the important business, and then I'll bring up my little rabbit issue, and I'll say anybody that wants a rabbit, I'll bring it up. But like sometimes you're at this group and halfway through the group, like a fight breaks out between like two or more members or something. Some other dispute happens. And that's basically what happened. So I never found like a placement. I just never brought it up at the group, the fact. I said, I'll wait until the next meeting till all this dies down. And for whatever reason, getting another job or something, I lost touch with the group. And I just never brought it up. So I ended up keeping all three rabbits. Cookie lasted probably like a year and she passed. And Squaky and Moxie had, up until August 2019, had been with me ever since. See, a lot of this goes back to when, I first met ACO Mac Millian, and, she basically I was told directly that they don't take cats, and they don't take guinea pigs. And that ducks and chickens weren't allowed. I have another story about the chickens. I'm going to get to that in a separate video, how I ended up with chickens after I was told that ducks and chickens weren't allowed. So basically, when I first met ACO Mac Millian, I'm under the impression that it's just ducks and chickens that are the problem. I really, I'm reducing my guinea pig population. I didn't think rabbits were going to be an issue. I didn't think ducks were going to, I mean, not ducks. I didn't think guinea pigs were going to be an issue. I didn't think cats were going to be an issue. You know, this is the impression I'm under until, like, I really get blindsided in August of 2019. And so originally, you know, I'm told that it's the criminal mischief from knocking over the sunflower in the neighbor's yard. I'm to stay away from the sunflower people, and they're to stay away from me. So, I mean, I'm under the assumption that they don't take, you know, cats, and I'm in this bind because of this stupid thing I did with the sunflower, and you know, I'm gonna get out and get my cats back. That's the assumption I'm under. I'm to stay away from them. They're to stay away from me. Basically, I don't get my cats back. I get the runaround ever since about the cats, and the ones that are supposed to be under this mutual stay away order are, you know, pretty much in my yard every day while I'm not walking down their street at all. So I'd like to know why I bothered with, you know, following that order if that was the one they were going to dismiss all on. If that was the one they were going to use to access my yard, you know, and at the same time, like, pounce on me when I'm not the one walking into their yard every day. They're walking into mine. I'm under the assumption it's a mutual stay away order. That's what's putting me into an anxious mood when they keep arriving in my yard, and I'm, you know, wondering why aren't these people that are supposed to be staying away from me because of this sunflower incident, why aren't they staying out of my yard the way I am staying out of theirs? I'm under the assumption that it's just rabbits. So when she comes in August, I try to expedite this. In August 2019, I try to expedite this right away. I say, well, you know, half of the smells out of the room is better than, you know, not all, and it wouldn't pose this tremendous financial burden if I surrender the rabbits and the chickens. You know, I can pretty much, you know, take care of the cats and the guinea pigs. And I signed this under duress. When she wanted me to sign over all of them and I refused, that's when she decided she was going to pursue the animal neglect charge. So it went from criminal mischief to animal neglect to wait 2 years while the neighbors just have free license to crawl up my tree, peep in my window, snap pictures, fly drones, kick balls under my porch, etc., pee in my yard, etc., etc. And that's how that escalated. Now they're dropping this original mischief charge, which really is, you know, the crux of the backstory of how this anxiety got to this point when I have, you know, complied with, you know, surrendering the chickens, surrendering the rabbits. I've, you know, kept up with my part of the bargain, cleaning the room, keeping the food in stock, keeping the conditions here better than they were when the animals left, and they have not kept up with their part of the bargain on the court date. They haven't kept up on their part of the bargain on the mutual stay-away order. They haven't kept up on their part of the bargain on even accounting for the animals that were last seen in the building. They couldn't even keep all of them alive, so... you know, here we are, back at the same unhappy ending, and sorry, but that seems to be all, unfortunately, that, you know, the Banana Republic of New Hampshire and COVID-19 have left the Cat Lady Confessions here for now.